What the hell are you doing? Meow meow meow. Meow meow meow. Hmm.
No turning back, floating away. Momentum's got me in its grasp. Sailing on an endless velvet sea. Once upon a time, I made a wish upon a twinkling star to spend my life beside the one I loved. That one was you. A weightless point in middle space, all by myself. A path to contemplate. Too late, no turning back, floating away.
Gubba gubba gub. Zed, you can't hide from me, baby. Okay, let's do something. Let's make something happen. Shall we? Hello, kitty. Oh, wait a minute. You're falling all over the place. You just want cuddles. Oh, you're trying to use the dive command? I'm pretty sure I've restricted that to Hilo finally. I fixed it. Aw, little baby wants cuddles. And she is right-handed. Loves to sit on my laying on her right side. Yes, you are so beautiful. Ah, so my friend, I spent my afternoon eating and napping with my cat, and watched a video on how to make cars in Roblox. So what I was gonna do is just make a car. Just go follow the tutorial and make a car, and then we will know how to make a car. But I want you to sit in your box. Oops, not you, Zed. The cat. Sit down. Sit down. Sweetie, I need you to sit down. I want you to go to sleep. Sit down. Okay, making a car. So, from what I understand, I'm just gonna visibility. Or is it specific sub things are visible? Oh, it's sub things. So I'm gonna hide the UI so it's not in my face. And gets back out of her. I know. She's so obedient. Oh my gosh. So the tutorial that I watched was pretty fabulous, I have to say. I'm just going to go to my history. And I just watched this, Cars with Suspension. So I don't even want to give commercials their due. But we've got we have some scripting and modeling and attaching to do. If I made the car in the world, then I would do it in here. I would just add a car to the workspace. Now maybe that's the right idea, and I can save the car, and then you just instantiate the car. I can make it a savable model, so then I can at least play with the scripts and the control and all the business of what a car is, and not get distracted with the constructor idea, and just basically have a functioning car. And then I can try to, once I have it, then I can like, oh, how am I going to change this? So in terms of what the thing is we create a model, and we call this model car. And to a car, I guess there's a I forget. It's an hour-long video. Oh my God. Do I add something to it? What do I add? Oh, I add a mesh part. Mesh part. I add a mesh part to the car. And then I add, so this is the body of the car, the chassis. And then I also add, I forget what I add. Maybe this is where he went to the model, home, editor, parts, UI, import 3D. Oh, it was a view thing? Explorer? No. Properties, plugins? No. View? Asset manager? Toolbox? Meshes. And we go car and no wheels. No, car. It also gives me his. What did he search for? Damn it. Kind of like an instruction set of. We want a car without wheels. If we follow his tutorial. Car body. Body. No, undo that. Undo that. That's the car body. They're always fancy. Limo, racing car, muscle car, Hot Wheel car. No. Orange box car. It's got wheels. It's got wheels. We don't want wheels. How did he look for a car without wheels? Car no wheel. Okay. Car no wheel. And he found instantaneously body car red no wheel. Okay, let's look for that. Body car red. This is a year ago. I guess they took it offline. Shitty. Body car red no wheels. Is that it? It's literally called Body Car Red No Wheels. I don't think that I think he made this car. Car, no wheels. I don't see the same results as he does. Meshes, marketplace, car, no wheels. I get different results. Completely different results. Isn't that funny? I think it's funny. I'm laughing. I'm laughing on the inside. That's in his result. Hot Wheel, no. Yeah, Hot Wheel truck. How about just car body then? Car body. That is a car without wheels. It's a little NASCAR-y for my tastes. What is this one? Oh, that'll do. Okay. So, what am I doing? How do I focus again? No. Uh, don't know how to reset my view. My view. View. Switch. Clear. Summary. How do I focus on it? Group. Select. Zoom to F. There we go. So if that's my mesh part, and I drag a Roblox car onto my mesh part, no, I just place it. And then I attach it. I don't think I know what I'm doing. Oh, that's the model. Okay, never mind. That's the mesh. So that part is nothing. So this is the car. So we're going to call it the mesh part. Now, is that too big or is that the right size? Maybe it's already the right size. Let's play. It is too big. We need to make this car a lot smaller. Okay. So mesh part, size. Let's take its size I have to scale it. Why is everything so hard? Scale. Is there a scale everything button? I want to scale them all at the same time, equally. God damn it, I gotta fucking Google everything. Roblox, how to scale all at once. Hold Shift or Control to drag one of the tool handles and the part will resize from the center on Shift or Control. Huh? Oh, that's all of them. Okay. Let's make a part, a block. We'll make the block 5 by 5 by 5, and we will move it so that it is sitting on the ground. And we'll take the car, put it right beside the block, and then we will scale the car, and we'll hold Shift, and everything will shrink down until it is about that big. And that's how big a car should be. Okay, now that we have the car size correctly, we can get rid of our size cube. We'll take this and we'll scale it up a little bit, and we're going to add a whole bunch of stupid to it. So from what I understand, things we need to do. We need to go all the way over to here. Oh, so car. We need to add to this mesh part. We need to add an attachment, and this attachment is front left. Attachment front left, and we are going to position that attachment right here. Yeah, good night. We want it to be like right half block position-y. We want it to be like right there. So that's like -6, 1, a little bit more, -5, 5. Oh. Whoops. Shit. No, undo. There we go. Position. Okay, so what is -5? What's -1? Okay, so we obviously don't want it to be okay. So we want it to be not there. That's -2, so we want it to be -1.4. Nice. And we want it to be -7.5. Nope, 7.4. 7.4. 7.4. Cool. And then We want to attach to the attach, and then we want a wheel, a cylinder, or a ball, a cylinder. Part, a cylinder. We want to a cylinder, and we want to scale the cylinder to be approximately wheel sized. And then we want to do a bunch of things to the wheel. If I can remember correctly, we want to orientate it X or Y by 0 degrees, and rotation by 0 degrees. Okay. Aw, who's just so, what do you need? You're so needy. You are so needy. Is everything okay? Are you struggling? You had it like a 2-hour nap on me. I kind of want you to just take a break. What do you say? Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Just go to sleep, honey bunny. We need a constraint. Or an attachment on the wheel. So we're going to call that, damn it, we're going to call that, rename, wheel front left. And on the wheel, we're going to add an attachment. Where does the attachment get added? It's just in the middle. And we're going to scale this. It's a little fat. And we'll move it so that it's in the right spot, kind of. It's a little big, isn't it? It's like some funny GTA car wheels. We need to shrink it more. Scale. Move. Yeah, it's kind of maybe still a little bit smaller. Scale a little again. Oh, that's too small. Yeah, okay, that's going to be the size. I think that's, if it clips, who cares? It'll have to do, is what it'll have to do. I mean, here's the problem. The back wheel will look funny. Kinda. Maybe I need to scale it by like a little bit and a half. Scale. 0.5, 0.7. The thickness is fine. So maybe if I make it like 0.6, it change at all. 0.5. Oh, that's that dimension. Okay, well, we want it to be whatever the hell. 1. user interface is kind of blows. 1. And then we'll make the Y and Z to be 2.5 by 2.5. And now we have the proper wheel size. Perfect. Perfect, my darling. Okay, we're just going to move this out a little bit here for now. And then, I don't know if the constraint is supposed to be in the dead center of the wheel or if it's supposed to be on the outside. But if it's supposed to be in the dead center, maybe it only has to be in the dead center. Maybe it only has to be. So then you take this attachment. No, you make this attachment. And you make its parent the mesh part. And then you make this one its attachment. I don't know. Okay, apparently I don't know. I don't remember balls. I don't remember literally anything. Okay, so there's a car. And you made a car. And you made a wheel. And when he made a wheel, let's back it up a little bit. I gotta add the audio.
Now, and if I open here, we can see the density is set to 0.7. And if I adjust the density, we can see that the mass changes.
Oh yeah, the mass of the car. So this mesh part has, where is this? Custom physical properties, yeah. The mass is 300. So we can dial this back down to something more like 0.5. Oh. Okay, we'll make it less. 0.2. 0.1. 1.5. 73.16. 0.17. Okay, there. We've given the car mass. What's the next thing?
So I'm going to reduce this to 0.3. And now we can see that the mass is 82, which is roughly how I like it. The next thing I'm going to do is set the model primary part to be the body. So
the model's primary part is the body. Got it. Continue.
here we can see the primary part is set to nothing. So if I click here and then click on the mesh part, which is the body, now we can see that the primary part has been set to the mesh part. Now let's create a wheel. So I'm going to add a part to the model, and I'm going to rename this part to wheel FL, and FL stands for front left because this is going to be the front left wheel. And I'm going to come down to shape and change the shape to a cylinder.
Now that's interesting. It immediately picked up the correct, so the wheel that I made, if I just delete this, if I pick the car and add a part, is it going to end up with a different orientation? So the thing that he just said he did was the part shape. Car part. And the name of the part is wheel front left, and the shape is a cylinder. Oh, look at that. It picks up the correct dimensions and everything. And then it has a size, which we already determined to be 1 by, what did I say? 2.5? 2.5? Oops. Part. Is that big? Is that too big? No, that's perfect, isn't it? Yeah, baby. 2.5. We'll go with little 2.5 wheels. Then what? Can I remember anything again? Okay, so now that we've got that, we've got our attachment, and then the wheel needs an attachment.
And I'm also going to set the size. And I'm also going to change the color to black.
Oh, aren't you fancy pants?
I'm now going to open the toolbox once again. And inside of the images category, search for wheel.
Okay, let's see if we can do exactly the same thing that he's doing. Home, tool blocks, under the image category, look up for wheel, enter, and we end up with a wheel texture. Yeah.
And I'm going to select this wheel image here. Hey guys and girls, so in today's video I'm going to be sits down or sits up. Hey guys and girls, so in today's sits down or side of.
So what did he do? He's got the wheel and he adds a texture. So let's add this one. And we're just going to call that a decal. And we're going to put that on the left face. And the wheel's a little fat. Now that I notice it, let's make the wheel a little less fat. We'll make it like 0.75 maybe. Yeah, that's better. Okay, we have a wheel.
This image to, and for.
And then I missed the attachment stuff.
This image to decal.
It's like a whole hour, so I'm not going to watch. I'm going to try to remember bits of it.
Now let's attach the wheel to the body.
Attach the wheel to
So
the body.
to do this, I'm going to create an attachment on the wheel. So let's create an attachment.
Attachment.
And I'm also going to create an attachment on the body.
Got it.
And I'm going to rename this attachment to be FL. So we know it's the front left attachment.
Yeah.
And I'm slightly going to position this attachment so it comes to the wheel area where I want the wheel to be. And here we can see the attachment over here on the wheel. And now inside of the wheel,
Okay, let's just piss around for a second. I want that to be where we want the wheel to be. I don't know if it has to be floating or I'm not sure. Is this supposed to be like there? So actually, what axis changed? 6, 7, 8. So that's 4. That's 5. We want like 425. 4.25. That looks right. Okay, that's what I think it is. And then
I'm going to make a cylindrical constraint.
a cylindrical constraint. Cylindrical constraint.
So let's create a cylindrical constraint. And for attachment 0, I'm going to select the attachment that's inside.
Oh, a cylindrical constraint between attachment 0, which is that one, and attachment 1, which is the wheel. And now they are attached at that point. But then I'm going to add a spring and a maximum and settings. Okay, so in theory, if I now start this, the wheel will move off to the side. Ooh, it's going faster. Okay, stop. Let's anchor the car, shall we? Can I anchor the car? I have to anchor the car. Locked. Anchored. Okay, play. So the anchor will be floating in space, and the wheel is there, and if I bump the wheel, yeah, it's supposed to do that. That's good. That's a good result.
Side of the mesh part, which is the body. And for attachment number 1, and we should also see that the wheel moves weirdly along this axis, and we should also notice that if we push the wheel into the car.
So if I take this car and just lower it down a little bit, then I should be able to walk into the wheel. Ah, and then it's hitting the car. So, and it's clipping into the car. So now that we understand that, so this wheel, we want to collision group. Ah, we want the wheels to be in a collision group. Right. Okay, so many things to...
It collides with the car.
So I'm glad we're going to do this.
So let's first fix the problem of the wheel colliding with the car. So to prevent the wheel and the body from colliding with one another, I'm going to come over to this model group tab, and over here there is a collision group button.
Collision groups.
So I'm going to press this button and this window should appear, and I'm going to add a new group called car, and I'm going to add another group called wheel, and I'm going to select the body, and I'm going to press this little plus sign to add the body to the car group.
Cars in the car group.
And now I'm going to select the wheel and press the little plus sign next to the wheel group, and I'm going to stop them from colliding by unticking the wheel and the car where the arrow intersect. So this arrow here needs to be turned off so that the wheel and the car do not collide with one another. So if we...
My table did not do anything at all like what his table did. Car, wheel. The wheel, the car and the wheel do not intersect. Well, how, what the shit? I don't understand. Have they improved things such that wheels automatically don't collide? So now what? Is this going to... Oh, and then
play the game once again. We should now see that the wheel is inside of...
We should now see that the wheel is inside of the car. Okay, let's run the game. And it is not. That wheel is really small. I gotta make the wheel bigger. It's just too small for me. Wheel. I'm gonna go with 275 by 275. All right. Let's try this again. Collision groups. How do I delete groups? Delete them. Okay. So what did he do? He went to groups. And he has default. And then he added a group called car. But why did default go car default? What does minus mean? Add group wheel. So wheels don't intersect with cars? Is that where I'm supposed to do it? Or wheels don't intersect with cars? Or wheels don't intersect with wheels? Or cars don't intersect with wheels? I don't understand. So I take the mesh part and I add it to cars. And I take the wheel part and I add it to wheels. And then I'm supposed to check car wheel. But car wheel is a minus. And default is plus plus. What, like, this entire table is upside down to what the tutorial is. Wheel, oh, here, there's a better, okay. So a wheel cannot collide with cars. Okay, that's easier. Okay, let's go back to table view. Ah, it's unchecked there. Okay, so it's backwards. I think this is more sensible. Okay, we're going to go with that. So wheels cannot connect with cars. And now when we run, you know what? I'm going to move this car in the direction I'm always facing when I come into the world, which is this way, so that it's on the correct side of me and I don't have to keep running around it. Play. Uh-oh, someone's coming for more attention. There it goes. Okay, cool. The wheel is, now it's doing what it's supposed to do. Yes, baby, what can I do for you? What do you need? Are you hungry? Are you thirsty? You just want a hug? Do you want water? Do you want food? Are you thirsty? You haven't been drinking very much. Come and have a drink. I think you should have a drink. You just want to hug again. Am I coddling you? Am I coddling you, little kitty cat? You know what I should do? I can add this. I can get this thing playing here. Jeez, that's loud. There, some background noise just to make it less miserable. It's in your box. Oh. Baby, come on. Do I smell like cat food or something? Is that just a shadow dragon making noise? Making a ruckus. feel like the wheels are too small. Or maybe they're fine. Just look small. Okay, what's the next part? We've got the constraints.
Is inside of the...
Yes, we got it.
And if we play the game once again, we should now see that the
Oh, wait a minute.
angle and set this to 90. And up and down along this axis, this movement direction from going from left to right to up and down. So I'm going to select the attachment that's inside of the body of the car, and I'm going to rotate the orientation.
Oh, I get it. Okay, so I basically go orientation, and I change the orientation of the wheel to 90 degrees, and then I run it, and then the wheel will be up and down, and it is. And then I change the wheel or its attachment point.
By 90 degrees on the decal is up and down along this axis. So to fix the orientation of the wheel, I'm going to select the cylindrical constraint.
Flip okay, to the constraint of the wheel. Ooh. Where do I do that?
And I'm going to scroll down to
Inclination angle, and we'll make that 90 degrees. And it actually did something. So now we run, and the wheel is in the right spot. Okay, and now we want to limit that. Limits enabled. The lower limit is -2. Upper limit is -1. And now, and it hangs. It hangs in the right spot. Cool. Okay. And then what?
inclination angle and by 180 degrees. If I now move...
Oh, and then when I run it, let's just double check. Aha. So this one, the attachment orientation by 180 degrees, and we run it. The wheel is now facing the correct direction. Cool. Okay. Stop. Next part.
the body of the car up and play the game. We can see that the wheel goes for an infinite ampere, and here we can see the attachment down. And we should now see that the wheel no longer comes, and just like we did for the cylindrical constraint, I am going...
So the spring attachment. So we now add a spring. Spring constraint. And the spring constraint attaches between, oh, let's see, what is it attached to?
to set attachment 0 to the
Okay, yeah. Attachment 0 attaches to the body. Attachment 1 attaches to the attachment. And then the spring. We have variables.
attachment FL, which is the one that's inside of the mesh part. And for attachment number 1, I'm going to set the attachment that's inside of the wheel.
Okay.
I'm going to scroll to the bottom and set damping to 200 and free length to 2.8 and stiffness to 3500. But feel free to mess around with these settings.
I will
to get
feel
the
free
spring
another time.
tension that you feel is fit for your car.
Okay, let's take a look. Still think the wheel is too small. Probably could be a little bigger. The fact that it can clip into the car is fine, so it could probably be bigger, and I might make it bigger. Let's make the wheel a little bigger, shall we? I've got it 2.75. I'm going to make it like... I'm going to go with a full 3. 3. There, now the wheel is freaking... So when we run... That looks way better. Yeah. Yeah! Okay. Now that we have a wheel, I love it.
Now I'm going to slightly adjust the physics of the wheel. So let's select the wheel
Yeah.
and scroll down to custom physics properties.
Custom physics
And
properties.
Let's enable this, and I'm going to set the density to 2,
2.
and I'm going to reduce the elasticity from 0.5 to 0.2 so that they don't bounce too much on the floor.
No bouncing wheels.
I'm also going to increase the friction, but this is personal taste. It will affect how if they can drift or slide around on the floor. So I'm going to set this to 1.5.
Got it.
While the position of this wheel has no effect, in order to keep my model nice and tidy, I'm going to select the attachment that's on the body
Yeah.
and copy the world position and paste that position into the wheel. So the wheel goes into position. I'm going to move it down 2 studs so that the wheel is rough.
Wheel. What did he say? Transform. Where's the transform? Transform C-frame position? Or origin? Or position? I guess it's C-frame position. That's not the right copy. Okay, this attachment positions. World C-frame position is copy, and the wheel C-frame position is there, and then we'll move it down 2 studs. 1, 2. Perfect. Perfect. So now it's where it needs to be. We love it. We're happy. Great.
In the correct position. Now that the front left wheel is complete, let's make the front right wheel.
Okay. Cool. So we're going to take the attachment and the wheel, and we're going to duplicate them. And then we're going to rename this one to be the front right. And this one to be the front right. And the wheels decal will go on the right face. I love you. You're beautiful. You're lovely. Thank you, darling. What are you doing? Why are you being so like this? You gotta try to do something when you're just being so fluffy puffy. Do you need something? Am I missing a signal? Do you think I don't love you? You think I'm torturing you with this little red Santa suit? I totally am. You're my little Christmas elf this year. I should put a little Santa's reindeer hat on you. Aw. I'm just trying to take care of you. Can I put you in my jacket? How about that? There. Did that work? Is that okay? Are you comfortable? Is that okay? There you go. We'll try that for 10 seconds. And then the right wheel, the right attachment goes undo is minus 425, so we'll just put it at 425. And then we'll take that world position and we will put that for the front right wheel. And then the front right wheel will be there. And then we will go 1, 2. And then we will duplicate the front wheels and the rear wheels and duplicate them. And then we will go back left, back right. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Front left, front right. Back left. Oh, you don't like that? Okay. And back right. And then we'll just the back attachments. Oh my God. Are almost there. Let's put this Back right one. 5.6. 5.5. 5.7. 5.8. 5.8. Okay, so now we have our back attachments, and they have world positions. Back left position is there. Back right world position. Back right wheel position. Position 1, 2. Back left 1. No, not the attachment, the wheel. Back left 1, 2. And in theory, when we run this, the car should drop it onto its... Oh. Okay, yeah. Car. Let's put it up there. And then let's not anchor it anymore. Mesh is not anchored. Sweet. Okay. I'm happy. Next part.
So to do this, I'm going to copy this
Copy.
attachment.
Copy. Copy. And now car.
And I'm going to weld the seat to the body.
Okay, so we're gonna get a car seat. Car plus vehicle seat. And we will weld the seat
So I'm going to select a weld constraint, and I'm going to select the vehicle seat as part 0 and the body as part 1. If I position this seat inside of the body, we will not be able to sit on it because we won't be able to touch the seat. So
okay,
for now,
that's fine.
I'm just going to put the seat.
So in theory, we can go up here and we can sit on the seat. And now we're sitting on the seat. Excellent. Okay. The seat is not centered. No. The seat. Sure. Guess you could have a passenger. So I'll put it on the left-hand side of the car, which will make the car sag a little bit. Okay, I'm happy. Got it. Now what do I do? I've got a seat.
Over here, so that we can sit on it while we work on the scripts. The next thing I'm going to want to do is when a player sits on the vehicle seat, I want to give them network ownership of the car so they can control the car in a local script. And this is going to make the car feel very responsive and have zero lag. The downside of giving network ownership of the car to the client is that now hackers will be able to move this car wherever they want and teleport it around the world however they want.
Right.
I have a video on my channel called Stop Hackers, so I'm going to say game.players .player added connect function, and this function returns a player. Then I'm going to detect when this player character has loaded.
So I already have this script. And I did it as child added, player added, and then I add the character. But maybe this is player added, and then what am I going to see here?
So I'm going to do player dot character added connect function, and this function is going to return the character model, and then I'm going to use this character model to get the humanoid.
Maybe. I need you to just... Boring channel. Manatee. What? Squeaking at me. You go sit over and back in your box. No gaming. Making gaming, but not gaming. I kind of took a break. There's nobody here. There's nobody. So I just had a nap with my kitty cat. Are you itchy? You're itchy right there? You need a scratch? This is itchy yet. There you go, sweetie. Okay, back to work. Just the cat keeps interrupting me, so it's the only one talking to me. I'm confused about the difference between players added, child added versus players added versus character added. Which one's which? What does that mean? Because this player is an actual player, and then it has a character.
Mr. Love Pickle.
Ooh, yeah. Hey, Pickle. I'm sitting here whining about my loneliness, and all of a sudden, people show up. Isn't that funny? Cat was driving me crazy with her loveliness, which is not really crazy, but. So I have 5 seconds of your time, Pickle. You're in and out. I get 1 hot minute with you. Oh, baby. Well, I appreciate your highs, always. Your highs and your lows. Forever and always. I'm making vast quantities of progress. Do you want to see? Well, actually, here. Yeah, I'll show you. This is how far we got. I can press a button to spawn the replicator wherever I am, and then when I stand on the replicator pad, the fabricator user interface appears, and then I added some buttons that don't do anything, but these will be parts that you can place on the grid, which I also got working. So it is raycasting into this grid, but it stops raycasting when you get off the grid, but when you're on it, it's raycast, and so it tells you what you're connecting to. And so that's all lovely. So I guess the idea is that you'll place your blocks and attach things and build your car. But right now what I'm doing is I am building a car so that you can sit on the car and drive the car around, and it's got springs, and I'm going to make it steer and stuff like that. I'm following a tutorial, a very, very, very good tutorial. But the problem is that I didn't make it. Give me a big stinky break. What I'm arguing for to my design crew is that instead of a block car building game, which isn't a bad idea in some respects, that they maybe have pre-built components, frames and stuff, and then do it a la Mad Max style, and they just have a bunch of cool little car models. That might be too much. It would look cooler because you can kind of control. Because a lot of people are lazy, right? They'll just make Minecraft cars, and it's boring. But so yeah, I'm just following this tutorial, and
then from this humanoid, I'm going to get the seated event. So I'm going to say seated, connect.
So over here
function
in my script,
this seated event returns 2 variables, one boolean, so either true or false if we're seating or getting up.
Maybe I just make a different script, and this one handles the car for the time being.
on.
I don't really
or it will
know.
return nil when we're getting up.
The cat is supposed to be distracting. She's white flagging it right now. She's wearing a medical onesie. So instead of a cone, she has her little suit so that she doesn't lick her wound. But she has more flexibility and mobility and is more lovey and useful than when she's wearing a cone. I didn't want her to be a cone head. She doesn't really like the suit, I'm not going to lie. She's kind of useless. She's extra lovey because she feels kind of cramped, so she just wants to cuddle up with me and do nothing. But she's still eating, and she's drinking, so that's good. Wow. Aren't you a campy little devil?
On my chair. So I'm going to copy and paste these names and paste.
So this one is adding my character to my character model thing, but maybe I'm supposed to do both of them. Maybe I go game, players, player added, connect. I did double connect, function, player. And then I'll just copy this guy. I don't know. Player character added, connect, function, character, and the character humanoid seated connect function active seat part.
Paste them into our function.
And then I think it's
I'm
like
going to call
seat
this
part.
seat part, and this one's going to be called active. And just for now, I'm going to print active,
No, I don't want you to print anything. I just want to.
then return.
Okay, so when you get out of the seat, if the seat part is nil, then return, and
So if we're getting off a seat, we're just going to exit out of this function and do nothing. The next thing I want to check is the name of the seat. Now, in your game, you may have...
okay. So in my game, I don't know what I'm going to call it. We'll call this the driver seat. The driver seat. So if seat part name equals driver seat, then
many types of seats, and you only want this to work for the car seats, so you want to use a unique name for your car seats so that this script only
probably
runs
be like
for
the
that
name
name.
of your car, and then it'd be like your car's driver's seat
Vehicle
name.
seat. So I'm going to say
I'm not sure.
if seat part dot name is not equal to
Oh, if it's not equal to it, then we.
vehicle seats.
I get it.
So if
Okay,
it's not
so
vehicle seat, then return n. So we're just going to exit the function and not continue.
Okay, so
Finally,
now we
I'm
have
going
an
to
actual,
say
the correct seat.
part, set network owner,
Seat part,
and I'm going to use
set.
the player value that we got from the player added event. So I'm going to copy and paste
Net
this into here. I'm also
work.
going to change the print to say
Oh, I did double colon.
owner and to print the player dot name. And so if we play the game once again,
And then we can print it. The owner,
and if we sit on the seat,
pwner.
we can see that it says owner and it says my name. And if I
The
exit
owner
the
is
car, I still have ownership of this car.
the
And if anyone else sits on the car, ownership will be given to
player
them.
name.
And if I sit back on the car, the ownership will be given back to me. Now let's enable motors for our wheels. Now,
Okay. Let's take a look. Owner, none's on speed. Oh, that's so nice. Anyways, I appreciate you popping in. I'm not going to assume that you want to stay here, or anybody does. No, everybody's come in, said hi, and left. So I do not ask any more of you than I have received from anybody else. It's kind of funny. It's like, oh, you're making a game? How cool! And then nobody cares. So there you go. Cool. That works. I'm happy. What's the difference between player added and child added? What is the difference? Roblox game players, player added versus child added. Player added will only fire for player instances that are added, but the real reason to use it is just for better readability because it's the canonical way of awaiting players joining. Player added will only fire. That's exactly the same comment. Is there a difference? What did I just read? I'm going to read it again. And I deleted the damn search. Better readability, it is the canonical of waiting players joining. Okay. So if I have the character, then I have the character. So this approach allows me to do multiple things. I can just add the player. So I can go, once I have got a player added and their character is loaded, I can do two things. I can add them. Hello, player. Or joined player, and then I can add them to my list of players. I don't care about the human, and this whole function can go away. And then this fabricator I don't need anymore. The This is just test because we can place fabrication where we want. Beautiful. Now what? Next piece.
Now, if you wanted four-wheel drive, you would enable it for all 4 of your wheels, but I'm going to only enable the motors on the back 2 wheels.
Okay.
So I'm going to open up the back left and back right. I'm going to select the cylindrical constraints. I'm going to scroll down to angular actuator type.
Okay, so let's go back to our car business. We've got our car, and we've got our... Can I move these around? No, I don't want it in the damn thing. I want it No, I want it there. Why is the world so stupid? There. Rather have it be front wheel, front wheel. Okay, front wheel, front wheel, front wheel, front wheel. It added them. Oh, they're alphabetical order now. Okay, that's fine. I'm fine with that. That works for me. So we want the back wheels, cylindrical constraint. We're going to scroll down to the actuator type, motor, and the back wheel right. I guess we could have limited slip posi. Only one tire, so you get stuck in the mud. Left, cylindrical constraint, actuator type, motor. Oh, and then there's angular limits. Something like that. Yeah, okay, probably.
And I'm going to set this at motor. And now I'm going to change the max torque to 2000.
Okay, so we do that. Max torque 2000. Max torque 2000.
And this is going to act like a handbrake to prevent the car from rolling around when no one's driving. And now inside of starter player and starter character scripts, I'm going to create a new local script and delete this hello world print from here. I'm now going to get the character model, so I'm going to say local character equals script.parent.
Okay, so this is the fabricator raycaster nonsense. I'm just going to make another one. So this is going to be the car, the driver script. Oh, sorry. Local script. And we'll call this the driver script. That way I can find it. And this one is the rename fabricator script. Okay, driver script. So in this particular case, the local character is equal to our script parent. I'm starting to learn. Yep. Which will be our starter player.
Just like we did on the script in the server script service, I'm going to detect when the humanoid sits on a seat. So I'm going to copy this line here and paste it into our local script. If we play the game, and if I jump on the seat and open workspace and open the car and select the vehicle seat and scroll to the bottom of the properties, we can see that steer and steer float equals 0, 0, and throttle and...
Okay, I want to see this. Get used to this. Workspace, car. Driver's seat. Go to the bottom and so I get a throttle 1, throttle -1, steer -1, steer +1. Got it. Okay. Why all of a sudden is my runtime so slow? Was I rude? I just didn't want to put the oh my god. Okay. So we've connected to the driver's seat. Now we got a whole lot of scripting to be done here.
Throttle float. Oh, now we can see changed event. Then, for now, I'm just going to simply print.
Okay, let's just start getting the code plopped in here. We've got our character. We want the seat part. When we change it, we're going to connect to a property, and the properties that can change, if the property equals steer float, then else if property equals throttle float, then perfect.
The property, so I'm going to the now I should get the events 3 times. Connection is
So we want to save these things, yeah. So local seat connection equals nil. We want to hold on to this. If the seat part is nil, then return. And if the seat connection is not nil, then
not equal to nil, then connection, disconnect, and connection equals nil. So when we receive a new seat event, if there was a previous connection, we're going to disconnect the connection.
beautiful. So we're just going to save this. That's not equals with a squildy. And that is equal to that, so we can hold on to it. And then
Set
we
this
continue.
connection name again that have the name vehicle seats.
And if the seat part is nil, and if the seat part's name is not equal to driver seat, then return. ND. Okay, cool. So those are our exit conditions. Love it. And our
Now let's first do the throttle float. So I'm going to need to change the angular velocity and the motor max torque for these cylindrical constraints. So once we're sure that the name is vehicle seats, I'm going to store these cylindrical constraints in a variable. So I'm going to say local cylindrical.
okay. Local cylindrical back left is equal to, and see if I can find it here. Well, I know I have the seat part. And I know I have a parent. The seat part's parent wheel. The seal thing's parent dot wheel back left dot cylindrical, oh my god, constraint. Did I get that right?
Call back left equals seat part dot parent dot, and this is the wheel back left dot, and we're going to get the cylindrical constraint.
I don't want to do the same. Take the whole name. Copy. Make sure that's right. Yep. It's absolutely not what I copied and pasted. So, copy. Paste. Okay. So we're going to copy that, paste that, we'll get the back right. So when we hit the throttle, we are going to take the cylindrical back left's angular velocity, angular velocity, and then we're going to change the max torque, motor max torque. Are the values I think we change?
And we're going to do the same for the back right wheel. So cylindrical back right, wheel back right. And now I'm going to use the torque value to calculate the torque that we're going to apply on the cylindrical constraints. So to work out how much torque to apply, I'm going to say local torque equals, and we're going to use the seat's throttle float, seat's throttle float times, and we're going to times it by the seat's torque. So I'm going to say seat dot
times the seat parts.
And this torque is kind of low, so I'm going to increase it to 5,000. So we have a greater
Seat's torque. Oh, okay, I see. Make that 5,000. Got it. Turn speed, we'll make that 30. 130, got it. Got it. Continue.
amount of torque. And I'm now going to set the cylindrical constraints torque value. So if we look at the cylindrical constraint, we can see that there is a motor max torque. So I'm going to copy this cylindrical constraint and I'm going to say dot motor max torque, and
Equals torque.
then I'm going to say,
But then we needed to do something with the throttle.
this torque
'Cause
value,
you can't have negative torque, so we got to go math
cylindrical constraint,
dot
the back right cylindrical constraint.
ABS.
Now this motor max torque value does not work with negative numbers, and our torque will currently go into the negative value.
Back
So
left.
to prevent this from being a
back
negative
right.
value, what I'm going to do is say math.abs,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to wrap the throttle float in this ABS function. And what this ABS function does is it converts negative numbers into positive numbers.
Yes, that's what they do.
So now
What a
our
good
torque
tutorial, dude.
will always be a positive number. The next thing I'm going to do is say if torque equals 0, then torque equals 2000. So what this is going to do is, if the player is not pressing any throttle, the torque will default to 2000, the same way we set the torque here to 2000.
Got it.
And this is going to act like a engine brake, which will
Now, do I have to
slowly
calculate this
car
angular
down
velocity? I think the
when
angular
you're
velocity
not
is a
pressing
restrict.
any throttle keys.
Okay.
And if you wanted to, instead of hard coding the value of 2000, you could add a attribute to the seat.
Seems like a good idea, because then you basically have specific seats that restrict the capabilities of the vehicle. Put a comment. The read resting torque from seat attribute. This means that a vehicle's driving stats come from the seat. Weird. Probably other ways to calculate it. It can come from anywhere, really, but that's fine. Continuing.
And use the attributes throttle value. I'm actually going to store this in a variable, so let's remove it from here. And I'm going to say local angular velocity equals. Okay, and for now I'm just going to multiply this by a large number, and I'm going to set this to this value. I'm going to do the same for the back right cylindrical constraint, and if I play the game, and jump on the seat, I should be able to move the car back and forward.
But
here, so currently I'm rotating the wheels at 10,000.
But if I want the car, what determines the maximum speed of the car? Is it again the seat? Max speed comes from the seat. So if I want the angular velocity to be limited to the vehicle's max speed, the seat is again the corresponding home of the variable. Okay, show me.
And we need to calculate the speed carefully if we want to match the max speed value. So to calculate this value, up top here, I'm going to say local max angular velocity.
Okay. Local max angular velocity is equal to the seat parts. What is that? Seat parts. Max speed.
And I'm going to say that equals to, and I'm going to get the seats dot max speed, and I'm going to divide that
by the radius of the wheel. By, well, it's the double radius of the wheel. So we need to have the radius. So the wheel is, I guess we have to go back. Seat part, wheel parent. Oh, I guess we've got the cylindrical, well, I don't know. Just have to pick a wheel? What is it going to tell me to look up?
And we must divide the max speed by the radius of the tire. So that is the distance from the center to the end. So what we can do is say, put it in brackets, and I'm going to get the back right wheel.
Oh, you just grab the wheel? Okay, so I'll just do that. Back right wheel dot size dot y divided by 2. And that should give me something like the value I'm looking for, right?
Dot size, and if we look at the back right wheel, we can see that we can use either the Y or the Z axes to get the radius. So I'm going to say dot Y, and I'm going to divide it by 2, so it's from the center of the wheel. So instead of simply putting this 10,000 value, I'm going to replace 10,000
times the max velocity. Oh, sorry. That's the torque. Oh, shit. Torque. Dupe. Paste. This can go there. And then that can be equal to that. That can equal to that. And we have
with max angular velocity. And if I play the game,
okay, let's just jump. Let's just jump to the whole next thing. So we're gonna go local attachment front left equals the seat part parent primary part dot attachment front left, and then we're going to take that one, copy paste front right, and then we're going to go to the steering and go local orientation equals vector 3 new part 0 comma seat part dot not throttle fork but steer float and 90 under my 90 and then this which one is the negative of it because it's backwards because left turns right and right turns left. Let's see what happens.
Steer float, and I'm going to multiply this, and I'm going to use the turn speed. So if I set the turn speed to 30, so I'm going to say times seat part.
Okay, yeah. Oh, what did I just do? Times the seat part, whatever he just said, turn speed. And then we are going to apply that to the thing.
Dot turn speed. And I'm now going to set the attachment's orientation. So I'm going to say attachment front left dot orientation equals orientation.
Cool beans. Orientation equals orientation, but this is capital O. Yep. And copy, paste, copy, paste. Come on. Paste. What else?
And I'm going to copy and paste this and do the same for the front right attachment. And if I play the game.
Okay, I play the game. Let's see if I did it right. nothing works.
And if I jump on the seat, now if I press left, the attachment rotates to the right.
Mine doesn't. Oh no, what have I done? Let's take a look. Character script. Character, humanoid, seated, active seat part. Not equal, then let's delete the connection. If the seat part is nil, return. If the seat part's name is not driver's seat, which it is, we get our attachments. Seat parent primary attachment. We get our back left and back right. We get our maximum things. Seat part, wheel size, banana. We get our connection. Seat part changed, connect function property. If function equals steer float, then the orientation, and apply the orientation. Else if the property is throttle float, then the torque is the ABS of the seat part's throttle float times the torque. If the torque is 0, then make it 2000. The max torque is the torque. The angular velocity is the angular velocity. Maybe I should not go so fast. I don't know if I missed anything. Oh. Attachment. I didn't spell things right. Attachment. Try writing that again. Whee. Oh, I missed it. I missed it twice. There we go. Okay, well, I clearly am not happy with a 25 mile an hour car. So let's set that to something more like 75 miles an hour. And then there's the other thing. We make the wheels turn smoothly.
Attachment to get the tween service.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna go back to our script. Driver script. And we're gonna go local. Tween service equals game get service quote tween service, and then the local tween info equals a tween info dot new, and we will make the wheels turn reasonably quick. 2.5. And then we go down to the steering, and between orientation we go tween service colon create attachment front left tween info. What else do we do?
And then we're going to provide a table, and we're going to tween the orientation, and I'm going to say orientation equals the
We're going to tween the orientation. Create a table. Orientation equals orientation of that object, and then I guess we do both of them. Copy, paste, and we do that for the front left and the front right, and then we don't need these ones anymore. We're not just hard setting that orientation. Is that right?
orientation value that we set here. I'm going to comment out these two here, and I'm going to copy and paste this tween, and I'm going to do this one for the front right, and as soon as we create the tween, I'm going to play the tween.
Aha, and then we have to play it. Play? Or maybe it's colon. Play. And now we have a playing tween.
Instantly. So I'm going to say play, and I'm going to do the same.
Okay, let's see what happens. Oh, it looks so much better. Yippee! Oh, this is awesome. Oh, I got one. I missed. I see. You know what I'll have to do? I'll have to have allow collisions, but they don't stop you. It's awesome. This is so cool. I'm so delighted. Wow. Yay. Car's still really big, but that's okay. Next thing. Stop. I'm going to go all the way through this entire tutorial. Apparently, seats have a some kind of I don't know what they have.
For this one over here. So we can
Maybe
see
I
that
add
we're
it.
creating a tween using a tween service. change this to be a negative. So we can say negative city. Now you can see that I can rotate can query to false and can touch to false. I'm also going to
Hey.
Now let's move the seat to be inside of the car so that we don't sit on the hood of the car.
Yep.
So the first thing I'm going to do is select the vehicle seat, and I'm going to set the transparency to 1. So it's invisible. I'm also going to set can collide to false, can query to false, and can touch to false. I'm then going to move the seat, and I want to move the seat as low as possible so that the car has a low center of mass, which is going to help it from flipping over, so it won't flip over as much.
That's where you sit.
And so I want it
Perfect.
to be like that there.
Yep.
And I also want it to be in the center, so we have a nice center of gravity.
Could be back
So
a bit, I guess.
something like this should be good.
Looks
And
good.
inside of the seat, I'm going to put a proximity prompt, and I'm going to change the action text to drive and the object text to car. And it's very important that we say return requires line of sight off, because we don't have line of sight of the seat. So make sure to turn this off, or you won't be able to see the proximity prompt. You may also want to change the distance, but I'm going to just keep it at 10. Now inside of the vehicle seat, I'm going to create a new script, and I'm going to delete this line of code here. I'm then going to store the vehicle seat in a variable, so local seat part equals script parent, and I'm now going to connect a function to the triggered event for the proximity prompt. So seat part dot proximity prompt dot triggered, and I'm going to connect this function, and this function is going to return the player who triggered the proximity prompt. And when someone triggers the proximity prompt, I want to call the sit function for the part, and I'm going to pass the player's character's humanoid. So if I play the game now, and if I go next to the car, we can see the proximity prompt appears, and if I press the E key, proximity prompt.
Sorry,
and
say
when
that again.
someone triggers the proximity prompt, I want
Went too
to
fast.
call the sit function
Player, character, humanoid.
for the
Okay,
part.
but there's more
and
to
I'm
it.
going to pass the player's character.
Because if the seed is finished and found it,
So if I play the game now, enable or disable this proximity prompt. So I can do this by connecting a function to the property change. So I'm going to say seat part get property change signal, and I'm going to ask for the occupant property.
seat
And
part,
I'm going to connect a function to this change.
get.
And when the occupancy does,
Wow, so fast. Go property change signal, quote, occupant, connect, function, bracket, if,
does change, I'm going to say if occupancy equals nil, then
ah,
I'm going to
if the seat
set the
parts
proximity prompt enabled
occupant equals nil,
enabled equals true,
then
else
the seat
I'm going to
parts
set this to false.
proximity part prompt
So
Enabled.
when the occupancy
Equals
is equal to nil, the
True.
proximity prompt is going to be enabled.
Otherwise,
And when someone is sitting inside of the seat, then the proximity prompt is going to be not enabled.
false.
And if I play the game again, and if I enter the car,
Cool.
you see that the proximity prompt disappeared.
So what are we doing here? So now we go to the car, drive the car. And my hair sticking out of the car. Wee. Oh, and then I'm stuck in the car. So we need to eject ourselves from the car. Should the seat be a little lower? Can it be a little lower? Sure it can. Now what?
But we still have the problem of me getting stuck inside of the car
We
when
do.
I try to jump out. So what I'm going to do is inside of the vehicle seat, I'm going to create an attachment. And I'm going to position this attachment where I want the player to teleport when they exit the seat.
Perfect. Okay. So, in the driver's seat, we're going to make an attachment. And we will put that attachment. Ooh. Outside of the car. Up a little bit. Okay, you need hugs. Okay. Come here. Let me just give you a little scritch. I help you out, baby. Baby. Guy Ross!
Guy Ross.
I think it was exclamation Guy Ross. That's the boom ba doo ba doo ba doo boom ba doo boom. How they doing? Or maybe it's just exclamation Guy. Jeez, now you gotta look every single time. Plugins, commands, or you can just go exclamation help and it'll tell you which commands you can do.
Guy Ross.
Oh my god, that is so funny. So what am I doing? I am. Oh, baby kitty wants more hugs. What's up? I'm here now. So I'm making a teleport spot. So when you want to get out of the car, it teleports you outside of the car so that you're not stuck in the car. So I'll show you how far we gotten so far. I have to put Kitty down. I know you want more hugs, but I gotta put you down. Uncle Guy Ross wants to say hello. Just a second. So I've got my boxes bouncing around. I can press my button to produce the fabricator. The fabricator will be where you interact with this little hologram to place blocks to build your car. And for practice, I just went through a tutorial on just actually making a car that has a body already. And then when you're on the cube or on the spot, then the UI appears, and when you disappear, the UI appears and the hologram disappears. So that was a bunch of work. Did that on the weekend, and then today earlier today I did this part. I did the raycasting of the UI into this little grid, so that was a win. And then the car tutorial, I've got the car. I can get in the car and I can steer it, and it's got gas and it's got suspension, and it drives around, and it's like a little interactive car. And I can hit stop. Oh, I can go backwards. And yeah. Jesus, Murphy. Kitty is very needy right now. She's in her little red onesie. She's very mobility limited, but she has mobility. She can actually move around. Better than a cone. I'm so glad. I've never subjected you to cone head indignity. Oh, I'm such a good parent. But she's so limited in motion, and she just kind of wants lots of scritches and hugs. And she said this afternoon I laid on the couch for a couple hours, and she just sat on me. And at bedtime, she just cuddles up to my head all night long. It's actually kind of lovely. I love it. Like a cuddle kitty, dream come true for me. All the other cats we've ever had, they were never really my cats. They were always the kids and everybody else's cat. Never really mine. Although we had Vinny for 17 years, and he would visit me, but he wasn't like my cuddle cat. This one, however, I started her off with mega cuddles. I'm always here, right? I'm never going to work and not at home, so I'm always here. So she sits in the little blue box here beside me all day. Sits up, climbs up onto the windowsill and looks out the window and stuff. I've got the food dish here and in my bedroom, so she basically is around me all the time. So yeah, I'm mommy cat. She's baby. And she just got spayed on Friday, so she's extra needy. Aren't you, baby? You're so good. I love you. You know what I have forgotten to say in a long time, Guy? Oh my gosh, I feel terrible. Was hi to your other half. You're still together, right? I just remembered that you had like a I just remembered. All of a sudden, it just came back to me in a flash that you had your soulmate. I'm so happy for you. Kitty says hi. She's happy for you too. I'm trying to remember her name. Damn it. I'm gonna remember. I always used to make fun of it. I turned it into some other things. So what made you want to do Roblox? Nothing. My kids wanted to make a game, and this is the game design. Okay, let me explain. If I have to. My kids, yeah. My youngest is the designer. My middle is the artist. I've started to put some of the artwork into my Discord server. So actually, I should put more of it in there. Let me just go grab it. Copy. Design. Paste. Copy image. Paste image. Copy image. Paste image. Copy image. Paste image. So this is like the world with the flying cubes, and then there's little outposts with sentries, and you have to kill the sentries to capture the bullets that the sentries carry on them, and then there's some kind of special parts that you collect in there, and then you have your body, but you can change the heads depending on your character class. And then there's the bosses. There's the flying angel monster thing, the spider boss, which has a turret, and then the snake monster, and so you're the little dude and you battle the snake monster, but in theory you would use your car and turrets or something, or maybe you have to jump out and throw rocks at it, or I don't know what you do, how you're supposed to kill this thing. But then the bosses drop loot, and that's another magic part for your car. And then your cars are made out of the blocks, and you build your car. So it's a car editing game. Oh. Well, so in terms of how far I've gotten now, if I don't get in the car, that won't mess things up. I'm not done that bit of code. So far, I think I can press this button, which deploys the fabricator. And the fabricator will be how you build your cars. So you pick the block, and you place the special blocks, and you build your car, and then this little hologram field will grow to build however big of a car you have, and then you'll no, what did I do? These blocks, they're flying around, and then you collect them when they get low enough. Can't be too easy. There we go. So I've picked that up, and now I have one, and then it'll vanish. Bloop. And then I can go over here, and now I have two. So this, I've kind of made my own executive design decisions. These are scrap, and you pick up scrap, and you go to your fabricator, and then you spend the scrap to build blocks that you place on your hologram to build your car, and then you finish deploying it, and then the car appears, and then you get in your car, and of course there's a bunch of different parts. I'm following a tutorial on how to figure out how a car should work, and so now I've got a car, and it's got suspension and constrained wheels, and it bounces over stuff, and it does what it's supposed to do. So I'm excited about that. Whee! So the car mechanic, I think, is supposed to be kind of Mad Max. So you'll like be probably machine guns on the front of it or something like that, or launch bomb, lob grenades. I don't know. GTA. And then stop. Each world will be map based, and then so if this is like the starting world with all of its cubes everywhere, you'll build your initial car, and then you'll go to the edge of the world, and instead of a open world, there's just too many open world games. I like map worlds, so it's just kind of like Lego Movie. So you finish this area, and then you get a Indiana Jones for no reason other than to annoy you and make you suffer through some little animated happy screen. You go through the little animated dotted line going doo 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 doo, and then you're in the next zone, which is the desert or something, or the swamp for the snake. I think the snake is the first boss. So maybe not desert. It's a race desert. White paintbrush. Oh my God. How do I do this? I want a big eraser. What is it? Erasing it one shade at a time? Why is it doing this? Oh my God. That's gonna look like I've got flecks of spit on my screen. I can't stand it. Not a good program. Used to be good, but now it's horrible. So this would probably be written in green. This will be that's not the right color. Swamp. And then it'll have the snake. You can do whatever you want. Yeah, you could have a person spawn in and be single player. I don't know if it's going to be single player, to be honest. I don't think it should be. What I think is there should be, so my design suggestion now, in terms of this map idea, is if I make another one, I'll save this one. Oh, no, you know what I'll do? I'll resize it. How can I resize this? No, I don't want to. I want to edit, view, select all, select all. No. Undo. Select. God damn it. Size. View. Zoom. I thought you could change the size of things at some point. Oh, here we go. Resize. Shrink it by a percentage. 50%. Copy, and then I will put it in my little design documents. But what I think, file, new, no I don't, is that there would be a starting world, the jungle world, the spider world, if it's just linear, spider world, the angel world, and then Australia. So you'll connect up to Spider World, and then you'll connect over. So let's put this. This is like start swamp. I don't know what Spider World is. Where would you put spiders? Spider. And then the Angel World. And then this one is Australia. And then this one is special. So this would be your PvP. And it's the Badlands. And it would have roving NPC gangs on motorcycles and stuff like that, and things would be upside down and that kind of thing. And so I think, yeah, by that point your car will be a little, and then each biome has different terrain that requires you to edit your car to suit the terrain. Okay, what was I doing? I was
So I'm going to move this.
I'm watching this tutorial. So this is my constraint.
Slightly move it up.
Yep.
And inside of the local script, at
Inside
the
my
very top,
driver local
I'm going
script.
to make a new variable called local exit attachment equals nil. And I'm now.
Oh,
going
then
to
he
put
did a
some
bunch of
six
nonsense.
to deposit and select the appropriate attachment. And once we've done that, then we're going to set seat to nil. So I'm first going to loop through every child of the seat.
It's going to fix this little script. The seat. And then the seat is nil. If the seat is equal to nil, then if the seat part is equal to nil, then return. But then we go, if the seat is nil, then return end. And then for I child in I pairs, seat get children do. Seat colon get children do, and then seat equals nil.
And then I'm going to check each child to make sure it's an attachment. So I'm going to say if child.className is not equal to attachment, then I'm going to skip using the continue command.
Class name
Before we
is
start looping
not
each
equal
child,
to
I'm going to create a variable called attachment, which is equal to nil. And I'm also going to create
then
another
continue
variable
and
height,
continue.
which is equal to negative
Math
dot view.
between seat
And
nil,
so
then
what
return
I'm going
end.
to do is if
So
any
we're gonna go
attachment
local
is higher than this height, I'm going to set the
attachment
child to this
equals
attachment
nil.
variable. So what I'm
Local
going to do is
height
say if child dot world position
equals
y
minus
is less than height, we're going to
math
skip But if
My
it's more
goodness,
than
math,
then I'm going to
huge.
say attachment equals,
If it's not attachment, continue.
Child.
If
and I'm
the
also
child's
going to say
world
height equals
position,
child
what
dot world
position, position,
So
y
once this loop
is
has
less
been
than or
looping
equal
through
to
every child, we
height,
should have the highest
then
attachment
continue
stored
end
in this attachment variable.
height
And
equals
so once we have the highest attachment, I'm going to cut
that,
paste
and the
this
attachment
down here, and
equals the
uncomment
child.
this. And,
And
instead of
then
using the
the
old exit attachment,
character
I'm going to use the highest attachment.
primary
And so if I play the game again,
part primary part C frame damn it, go back 1 second. C frame, so character primary part C frame equals the seat, no, attachment dot world C frame or world position.
attachment, I'm going to use the highest attachment.
World C frame. Is that still a thing? Maybe it's not a thing anymore. Maybe it's just world position. Let's see what happens. That was some fast. Am I typing with my feet? No. Yes, in some respects. It didn't work. Was there a bug? No, I have these amazing long Christmas sparkly nails. So my typing skills are on hold so that I can be glamorous. I did something completely wrong here. Let me look at this code one more time. Driver script. I have a seat. If the seat part is nil, and meaning we're getting out of it, if the seat part is nil, then we're good. Return. If the seat part is not nil, meaning we are sitting in the seat, oh, we have to sit in the seat. That's missing. If the seat part name is return driver seat, otherwise we have to actually set the seat. So seat equals seat part. Now we're sitting in the seat. Sit in the seat. Hold on to it so we can TP to a best choice seat attachment. Yeah, it really is. My typing is actually it's pretty good considering. Okay, that was what was missing. So now, in theory, when I use the car, boop, and I drive around and then I jump out of the car. And then I get back in the car. Yippee! Woohoo! Very GTA excited about this. You know what I want to do? Just for fun? I'm just going to put a big part here, a big wedge. I'm going to rotate the wedge. I'll leave it. No, it won't, but I will scale it. Perfect. Let's play. Oops, I didn't mean to get out. Come back, car. I can't knock it over. Okay, stop. Start. Oh, I did it again. I went and hit the space bar. It causes you to jump, which means get out. Instead, I'm thinking like GTA, which is it would cause you to you rotten cube. Okay, I'm gonna get out now, and I will collect you so that you don't block my way. Okay, we need to go faster. Wow, it's got a really heavy nose. Now this is a problem. So that's why there's that little loop, so that I can have different attachment points. I can now go to the seat, the driver's seat, and I can add another attachment. And I can move it to be on this side of the car, for example. Or I could make another attachment. Yeah, well, let's just start with that. So if the car flips onto the left or the right side, then you can get out of it. And then I go on this side. Oh, I missed. And then I jump and I come out this side of the car. Kitty. So that is just about an entire day's worth of programming. That's like an hour of tutorial and then another 3 hours of this, and then I did 3.5 this morning. 6, 7, yeah, that's a full day's work. It's a full day's work. You wanna go watch a movie and eat popcorn? Kitty cat? I'm glad that you showed up. It's been very quiet today. A few people have showed up and said hi, which is nice. I always appreciate highs. I think you're the one who spoke the most to me, which is super duper. And now we're here. Scooby Dooby Doo, Scooby Dooby Doo, Scooby Dooby Doo, Boo Doopy Doo, Doopy Doo. It's not very interesting. That's the funny part. People love to play games, and then they may say, "Oh yeah, game dev. Oh, you're doing against us doing game dev. That's so really cool." It's so boring. There's really, there's nothing exciting about programming. But if you like programming, it is exciting. But there's nothing exciting about it. It's just It's kind of like beating a game, you know. Somebody would ask me, what the fact that any game I've ever worked on, I don't play, and they're like, why? What? That doesn't make any sense. I'm like, well, the making of the game is playing of the game, and so by the time I'm finished making it, I know how it works. I've beaten it in some respects. I might not be very good at the game, but I know how it's built, and that to me is better than knowing how to press the buttons in the right order. It's like I know what the right order is. I don't need to prove my reflexes to press those buttons. That seems ridiculous. It's like, whereas of course people who don't make games, who play them, that's where they start. They start with learning the buttons, and then their entire experience is how fast can they press the buttons. I don't care. That's just not interesting at all. I mean, I can press buttons pretty fast, but for some games, but I really don't. It doesn't mean anything to me. This is huge. So this is really like, so far this, I'm keeping track. This is about day 6. Yeah, I would agree with you, but I have no choice at this point. After 30 years, I am stuck making them. There's no escaping now. I have no massive life savings or ability to do crazy stock option trades that will net me 6,000% benefits and make millions of dollars overnight. Ain't gonna happen. I'll be working to my death. So this is all I know how to do my whole life. I did it to myself. But now, at least, I have a kitty cat that can spend the time with me. And I can spend my time with her. Grateful that I have a job I can work from home, though. That's kind of nice. I don't have to commute anywhere. I don't miss that at all. I miss people, but I don't miss commuting. It's like worse. Commuting is worse than people. I am working for a VR company based in Montreal, and they make kind of like this installation experience where you, based off of the International Space Station. It was in San Francisco, and then went to Montreal, and I think it was also, then they made 2 versions of it, and one went to Orlando, and then one's come to Vancouver. And they built a special 360-degree camera, and they sent it up to the ISS for 2 years. They also sent it to their diving training tanks, and so they've got it. They're really tight with NASA. And so when I went in June to Montreal to see the company and visit and kind of be there, because I hired me in May, and so I went to the exhibit, and oh my God, I literally teared up. It was so amazing. It was absolute awe-inspiring. I couldn't believe it. You're basically 400 kilometers up above planet Earth, outside of the space station, attached to the Canadarm on a fixed camera point, looking down over the Earth. That's just I can't even begin to describe it. It's just astronomically amazing. Amazing. And so I'm working on the sequel, which will be out in hopefully 2025. Probably mid to late 25. So I'm chuffed. I'm having fun. It's a massively multiplayer game. They want 160 people in the experience at once, and they wander around doing the things that are in the experience. You see each other, so you're like a 3D avatar of yourself in the room with other people. It's all one-to-one, so you wherever you move, your avatar moves. Where somebody else moves, you see them move. And it's loaded with technical challenges, like to the gills. Like, how are we going to do that? Wi-Fi. We're running up against all of the Wi-Fi limits. We'll be using the Quest 3 headsets, yeah, it's just amazing. It's all super cool. I'm really happy. Oh, you can't buy it. It's not a consumer product. Although they make things on the Quest store. They have a bunch of stuff on the Quest store. Oh, you can't wait to buy a Quest 3. Oh, okay. They haven't sent me one. I have a Quest 2 they sent me, and eventually I'll have a Quest 3 because that'll be what we're shipping on. But we're deving on the 2. They're from a dev perspective, it's largely the same. It'll just be a little bit more powerful. Although I think we're looking at other headsets too. No, it's an installation. So you go to like your local science world or your science center, and you go into a warehouse, sized space, and it's an exhibit. And you pay whatever, $50 or something to wander around inside of this exhibit for an hour. It's cool. I like it. It's very complicated. A lot of parts. Sorry, baby. Hi. Hi, guy. Yeah, you're so pretty. Yeah, I'm doing the multiplayer. That's my job, is all the networking. Ow. Pissed you off. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Go back to sleep. Yeah, you can't fuss with little kitty cat too much or they get mad. I get to do probably I have to implement a voice over IP system for grouped users. So each group of users is able to VoIP within their group. But we're kind of running up against the bandwidth limits or the airtime limits of a Wi-Fi network. So that's kind of a challenge, figuring that out. I'm on holidays now, so I don't really care. I'll just enjoy the break, have a nice vacation. I'm on vacation right now, so that's why I'm just gonna work on this game all the whole time. I get next week off. Yeah. I had a week. I had some vacation already banked, so I used one of the weeks for this week, and then the office is closed next week, so we get a holiday for then. So it's pretty awesome. 2 whole weeks off. Kind of goofy that I'm going to be working the whole time. But I don't mind. This is kind of fun. I've never really done anything like this, to be honest. I'm always on the tech. I never really get to make a game. I'm always building the freaking systems that make a game possible, and there's somebody else doing all the gameplay. Always. My own game was the first game I got to design, and I'm not really a game designer. I'm a tech designer, so it's really a tech demo of a bunch of buttons and sound effects and animations. The content, I had to hire other people to make the content. I don't know how to make content. I can't draw. This is all I know how to do, is hook up systems. So actually being the one to put all of them together to make it into a functional game, for me, this is kind of a first. I mean, I think I added up, I worked on like 16 games in my life. But so, I guess it's a satisfying programming code and response. You code the little car to do something. I press E. Oh, I gotta press E over here. E, and now I'm in the car, and then the car does something, and I drive the car, and I jump out, and the car is there. It's kind of cool. I run over here and I press the button, and all of a sudden I get a user interface and I do stuff. And so the haven't had that experience before, honestly, where everything's already built and I just have to hook it up according to the imagination. Still work to be done, right? The car there isn't a already suspension built car that's all scripted and attached to user input and has game relevant context. Still have to do all of that. But and then I made some extra, I've made independently, because I'm doing this project. I kind of spruced up my bot, so my music player is functioning perfectly for me now, and kind of perfectly. I think there's still some more things I could do to it. Sadly, I can tune it and tweak it, but the bot's working. Things are just kind of happening. Life is kind of this year is ending in a reasonably pleasant way, which is nice. It has been a long, slow climb out of a rotten pit of despair. I recognize that the 2015, 16, 17 period when I first started streaming was kind of my supernova point. I kind of was letting go of my old life, and it was all collapsing, and I was intensely putting energy into my little show, a collection of all of my ridiculous skills, enjoying them, sharing them, but then life just kind of collapsed. 18, 19, 20. good things happened, bad thing, then the pandemic happened to everybody. I think the whole planet is under a very dark cloud from that we are not going to get out from under for another generation. We need a generation that has not been in a pandemic. I guess that's kind of what happened in 2016 with the Spanish flu. That killed millions and millions and millions of people, and there weren't millions and millions. I mean, that had an impact. So it wasn't until the 40s, the silent generation, who knew nothing of the Spanish flu. 30s, kids born in the 30s and 40s, to create that overflow of a different perspective on the world. Wonder what it'll be for us. I don't really wonder. I don't care. I hope it's good for my kids, for your kids' sake. That's all I care. I hope it's good. May it last thousands of years, tens of thousands of years. Well, I hope you have kids. I think you'd be a wonderful dad. And Spicy Vanilla, your partner, bet she'd be an amazing mom. At the very least, you are two wonderful people. The world needs wonderful people, making wonderful people. That is the only defense against the darkness. Aww. Well, not really. You have the wonderful ability to be wonderful. Maybe you foster kids or adopt kids. I'm not forcing you. I mean, goodness gracious. Just be awesome. I didn't mean to put you on the spot there. I apologize. That wasn't the intent at all. It was just... I feel bad. This is fun. I'm so happy. This all works. It can work better. It's not perfect. Hmm. 10 o'clock. I think I'm going to watch a movie. Have a cat sitting on me. 1 a.m. Even earlier. Yeah, I think it's movie time. I don't need to sit in this chair for another hour playing a game. I don't care. But it's nice of you to visit. What a treat. Yeah, it's good talking to you. I just keep thinking it's funny when you feel comfortable about a person, all of a sudden your brain just keeps thinking of things you could talk about. I turned 55 in a couple weeks. In 13 days. No, what day is it? Is it the 18th? Shut up. Is it really? Okay, in 7 days. Yeah. I need to go shopping tomorrow, I think. Finish my Christmas shopping. Yeah, it won't be a big whoop whoop. It'll just be a nothing. I have never done anything big for any of my birthdays, ever. There will never ever be a big birthday for me. They will just be quiet little family affairs, if I'm lucky. And then I'll just get older. It's kind of surreal. So many things are made of these certain events. It's like up to you to make a big deal out of yourself. To the benefit of your friends. You celebrate yourself, but really you're celebrating your friends. But after my transition, everyone left. Everyone. Absolutely everyone. Not a goddamn soul left in my life. Become very, very disillusioned with this world. Through all of this shit. Not disillusioned, I guess. Maybe perceptive of its realities. The prejudice that people live by are all that they have time to be aware of. It takes so much extra energy to be aware of generosity and consideration. It just takes, you have to all of a sudden think about stuff and other people. You can't assume, can't take for granted things. You just can't. What I'm going to do is I'm going I don't want to get all negative and poopy pants. I want to be nice and happy. Because it's happy that you're here. I'm going to wrap it up. It's late for you. I'm going to kick it out. Go to my thanks for watching screen and play one of my random songs from the record and go and have an evening with my kitty cat. I think I will make popcorn. Does that sound fun? Do you want popcorn? The next stream, well, I'm going to be working on this all week, except for time, and probably put in 3 to 6 hours a day. I don't know. So tomorrow I'll go shopping. And so that'll take up some of the daytime. And then I will probably stream some more. The next thing I have to work on from the car, after the car, is I have to work on the tools so that your character can pick up weapons, use melee weapons to attack the enemies, which will then be the next thing to do, is to have enemies that have that exist that you can hit and do something to, and then terrain. So as per the artwork, oh right, that's right, Discord. I need to send this link to my kids so they can join my Discord so that they can be designers of the game. So let me send them that. Yeah, so I'll be around. I'm gonna be streaming probably more regularly on an ongoing basis. I'll try to have reasons to do it. I think. I don't know what I'll do, but I'll work on this game for sure. So this will be a fun thing to do. And come the new year, I will trim my nails and I will be able to play music again. Maybe in 24 I will work on another record or something, or a couple songs, or I'll just play the guitar again. I don't know. Maybe just exist to be able to reconnect with all the lovely people like you, and to just be connected again. I don't really want to go back into the ugly, dark place that I was in. I don't want to go there ever again. Just don't. There's nothing there. It's kind of funny. When you isolate yourself, you know what happens? You become isolated. Nobody comes to rescue you. You are just forgotten. You have to come back out of your isolation all by yourself and purposely put yourself in the traffic to be seen. Not in the traffic. Don't stand in traffic. That's not advice. Do not stand in traffic. That is the advice. I am clearly not well suited to be giving guidance. Hey kids, go stand in traffic. Be seen. Be one of the seen kids. How many more of these do I have to do? I have to give anti-inflammatory meds to my cat every day. Oh, I only have to give her 2 more. How cool. Well, that's easy. How many was that? It's only 5? I thought they said 7. Okay. Well, 2 more. And then she's done. No more ugly medicine. Yeah. Want me to play any song for the final play out? Because I have music to play, I kind of think of myself like a television show. Like, okay, buddy, that's cool. Let's just play a song. Here, I'll play Restless. I love the song. I like Lost too, though, but I'll play Restless. Rain? You want me to play Rain? Okay. 1 second, please. Just a second. It's going to take me a second to find them. Music. Library. Rock. NOS. Dangerous Goods. Rain.
Kairos!
You're awesome. Thanks, Guy.
chance to get up and try again. Circle turns and life begins anew. Make me believe all the make believe is true. And I hold my hands high to the rain. Yeah. Hear the patter of the falling water. Feel the cool fall upon my face. Change comes over all the things around me. Seems like life is out of chance of pace. And I hold my head high to the rain. Yeah. And I hold my head high to the rain. Yeah. So I sit here in this restful silence, watch the water falling out of space. Brings me back into myself now. Puts my heart and soul back into this place.